Yeah, I think it's this idea of like, I think anyone who grows up on an island and has actually gone through kind of like it's a very bizarre moment in Irish history. I think there's always this thing of getting out, ultimately. I think when you live in it, you kind of, when you're creative, I think you have this feeling of to try to see other worlds, to see, is this world what it should be, ultimately? Because, when I was younger, during the kind of Troubles, it got very heated in the kind of, between like 1990 and 1997, was a kind of a chaotic moment in Ireland, because it was sort of like, it was the kind of beginning of the end. It was before the Good Friday Agreement. And I think when we were kids, you kind of become normalized this idea of like checking underneath your car, you might go, I remember going to school one day and driving to school, and then on the way back, the entire street was gone. The entire street was blown up. Wow. In Mackerfell, like quite a serious bomb that had gone off. And then it was not, the closest that it kind of got to me as a child was like, I remember my father's from 6 Mile Cross, which is a very small town outside of Omagh. And I remember my mother going to a shoe shop in Omagh to return shoes. And she had just got a new car, and she had parked the car at the top of the street. And Omagh is quite famous for having a cross. It's a cross in the middle of the road. And I remember, like, as she always tells us, it was a kind of strange moment in life. And she was returning shoes. And when she got out of the shop, she went up to go get into the car, and the police officer was like, you can't go up there because there's a bomb at the top of the town. God. Or a bomb threat. And I think my mother was so like, she'd just bought the car. I think she had done something where I think she'd gone through like Woolworths to try to get to another car park to get to it. Crazily. And then as she got to the other side of the town, the side that she was on completely decimated. Which was, that was the kind of pinnacle in Ireland, where it was probably the most grotesque kind of, it was a big moment, which after that, things started to kind of realize that both sides were just destroying each other. But it was, as a child, extreme. It really affected me, because it was sort of like this idea that within a kind of split moment, someone could just disappear. Wow. So it was quite, and we were on the farm all that time, like it was that kind of like, I think it was one of the half-term breaks or something like that. And it was just a very strange moment in life, because you kind of realize it was that this thing was real. It was like, it was not just like seeing it as like a street gone or a bomb threat, everything, there was always something. It was the first time that it became real as a kind of reality. Anyway, so ultimately going back is sort of like, I think when you live in that period, for me, the idea of fantasy, the idea of not fitting in and trying to get out was a kind of, was a kind of a driving force, I think, in the idea towards creativity.
Certainly intensifies the urgency.
Yeah,